For the first few weeks while your chicks are in the brooder, they are not going to need any treats. The chick starter has everything they need. Scrambled egg is good for them, but they don't need anything else. Now you can give them little treats now and again if you wish, but if you do, you must supply some grit for them. Grit is basically tiny little pebbles which they need to grind up the food in their digestive systems. Without it, they cannot digest food. So they don't need grit for chick starter and they don't need grit for scrambled egg, but they do need grit if you give them anything else. Now we're talking about grit here, not oyster grit. Oyster grit is for laying hens. It is a form of supplemental calcium which your chicks certainly do not need, so it is plain chick grit that they need if eating anything other than chick crumb or scrambled egg. What problems can chicks have? A common problem chicks can have, especially if they have travelled to get to you or if the ambient temperatures are too warm, is pasty butt. This can also happen if the temperatures are fluctuating. This is where the chick's poop can get stuck around its vent, preventing the chick from being able to pass anything. This needs to be rectified as soon as possible as it can kill a chick within a matter of hours. Just a little warmer than lukewarm water and some, I believe they're makeup removal cotton pads. Find those extremely good for soaking the poop off the butt. Got 11 little 2-day-old chicks in this tote. They're in there about an hour. 1 hour. And you can see the mess they've made on the puppy pads. But they're doing good except for 2 pasty butts. But I'll just show you these poopy butts. So here you go. And what happens is each time he poops, a little more will stick to this and it will end up blocking him up, which is fatal. It will kill them, so you clear this off. I find normally to hold them with your hand wrapped around them, they like the heat. And if you hold them into your body, they'll actually just go straight to sleep. Normally. They can fuss around, but... So I'm getting the cotton dab. I'm completely soaking it in water. Then I'm twisting it around because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the little bit of poop inside this. And close it on it. And hold it there. And let it soak. I will hold it there until I feel the cotton pad getting cool, which only takes around 30 or 40 seconds. Then I discard that pad and get another, soaking it again in the warm water and holding it back to the chick's vent again. I keep repeating this process until the poop starts coming away. This happens quickly if you have caught it early, or if it can take a few minutes and quite a few cotton pads if the poop has been allowed to dry in for a while. It gets rock solid. If you catch it early enough, you may only need 1 cotton pad, and this is resolved very, very quickly, which of course is the best case scenario. I then use some super soft paper towel to dry the vent. Again, just by holding the paper towel to the vent and gently dabbing at the vent until it is dry. The skin around a chick's vent is very thin and tender, and you can tear it very easily, so all this must be done very gently. For this reason, you should never try picking off the poop around the blocked vent, and you mustn't rub it with the cotton or anything else. Just soak it constantly until the poop loosens. I then sometimes use a cotton bud to get any remaining bits off. Again, soaking one end of the cotton bud and holding it to the bit of poop as I'm trying to dislodge it. If the skin or area around the vent has swollen, which it can, use a bit of coconut oil to reduce inflammation and soothe the chick's vent. This will also help stop any more poop from sticking to the vent. Coccidiosis can affect chicks and is a very common problem to have when you have chicks in a brooder. It's not so common when all the chicks are being raised by a broody hen, but you need to be alert for it when raising them yourself. The most typical sign of coccidiosis is bloody stools, but your chicks can have coccidiosis and never show bloody stools. Coccidiosis is an intestinal parasite that feeds off of the intestinal walls, hence blood in the stools being a common symptom. And you can often see the signs of this in affected chicks. They will be crying as they are in pain, or they will often have diarrhea. They may not be eating at all. They can be excessively drinking. They can be hunched up with their necks pulled in, and they will be feeling cold, so they will often stay under the heat, refusing to come away from it. Coccidiosis needs immediate action, as it can wipe out a full brooder of chicks within hours. Amprolium is the most commonly used coccidiostat and is very effective in treating coccidiosis. It comes under the brand name of Coxide or Corrid. Often found labelled for pigeons, but is also safe for poultry. It is added to the water for 5 to 7 days, but the treatment really needs to be started immediately or as soon as you notice the symptoms. So I would recommend you having some already in stock, or at least know where you can get some very quickly, if you plan to raise chicks. Keeping the brooder clean will definitely help in prevention of coccidiosis, but they can still get it. A brooder has optimal temperatures for coccidia, and the chicks will get it from picking at their own droppings, which is impossible to totally prevent, so it's best to be prepared to have to deal with it. Sometimes you will find you have a weak chick and it doesn't seem to have coccidiosis or pasty butt or anything else. If I find myself with a weak chick, raw egg yolk is the first thing I give it. Usually, as soon as I dip their beak in it, they will eagerly drink. I will give it to them every couple of hours, letting them back under the heat in between to let them absorb it. This along with sugar water to drink. You can make your own sugar water simply by dissolving a teaspoon of sugar, honey or molasses into a pint of water. So add whichever one you have to hot water, stir it and let it cool. Then give it to the chick. If the chick is very lethargic, try just placing a single drop of sugar water on the tip or side of the chick's beak. They should swallow this. Then repeat just one drop at a time until the chick doesn't want to swallow it anymore. You don't want to force any into the chick's beak, as the chick could easily aspirate. It can be stressful raising baby chicks for the first time, but do try to enjoy it. If you have a clean brooder, food, water, heat and a cool spot, there's every possibility you won't have any issues raising your babies. If you are having an issue and would like some help, please leave a comment below. As with everything chicken, it is addictive. Whether you have hatched your own chicks by yourself or sourced them somewhere else, once they feather out in a few weeks' time and become more chicken-like, you can find yourself pining for those tiny, fluffy little chicks again. But dealing with that addiction is all part of being a chicken owner. So welcome to the coop, and that's why it's good to talk chickens. Thanks guys. Please leave a comment below and press the like button. It really helps the algorithm. It'll help get that video pushed out. Okay, take care guys. Good luck and I'll see you in the next one.